Chief Minister Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, Dr. Vijay Chathaiwale ji, Shri Baba Kalyani ji, Shri Adil Zainul Bhai ji, friends, distinguished delegates, it's a great pleasure to join you all at the inauguration of this conclave on global economic cooperation. I commend FECC, the government of Maharashtra, and you, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis ji, personally for this initiative. Recent developments, both in the world and in India itself, make this deliberation timely and appropriate, particularly in India's financial capital, Mumbai. Today, there are 4 broad propositions that I would like to share with you. 1, the world has entered a volatile and uncertain era, possibly the most turbulent in living memory. Long-standing assumptions and expectations have now become questionable. Key dimensions are transforming simultaneously, be they strategic, political, economic, or technological. 2, solutions lie in de-risking and diversifying across multiple domains. This approach is increasingly visible in the policy of nations as much as in the choices of enterprises. But despite the challenges, we must search for opportunities and solutions, infinite or otherwise. 3, India's response is to further build national capabilities, address growth challenges comprehensively, and deal with both short-term issues and long-term prospects. The Reform Express will continue to roll on. This has implications both on the supply and the demand side. And 4, from a position of strength, India is engaging international partners more intensively. This is demonstrated in recently concluded trade deals. We will also be more salient in the global calculus on production, on services, technology, skills, and talent. Let me now come back to the state of the world. The established global order is clearly changing before our very eyes. Replacements are hard to create, and we appear to be headed for a long twilight zone. This will be messy, risky, unpredictable, perhaps even dangerous. We have already seen this across different geographies. Aspects of the present order will coexist with elements of the emerging one. Economics will give way to politics and to security when it comes to making choices. And technology in the age of AI will be even more transformative than ever before. Friends, there are 6 notable features of the current international scenario. 1, the US is determined to re-industrialize at any cost. This is central to its tech future. 2, China's manufacturing and export focus continues unabated and may even expand. 3, technology competition is intensifying and polarizing. 4, energy trade flows are being significantly redefined. 5, new mindsets are encouraging greater risk-taking, including through military means. And 6, migration and even mobility are getting contentious. Now, each nation and each society will respond as per their interests and calculations. In the case of India, my colleague, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji, stressed as recently as 2 days ago in Munich. And she said that the nimbleness and practicality of our domestic policy responses has actually enabled India to navigate these choppy waters. Similarly, nurturing multiple partnerships in the foreign policy domain has maintained our international positioning. Let me also add that in these tumultuous times, political continuity and political stability have an even greater premium. This has allowed India to carry out bold reforms, even in complicated times. In contrast, many others are today in a defensive crouch. Let me now turn to de-risking. Lessons from COVID and from conflicts in Ukraine and West Asia, Middle East, they have already raised awareness about the fragility of our supply chains. Concentration of production has been one key factor, limitations of connectivity another. Sharper political competition has enhanced both aspects. We are today witnessing weaponization of production, weaponization of finance, leveraging of market shares, and tightening of export controls. To add to all of this, there are now uncertainties on the demand side due to application of bilateral tariffs. We are no longer concerned just about crisis situations, but day-to-day commerce as well. So the argument for de-risking across the entire spectrum, from sourcing to production and to markets, that argument is becoming more compelling by the day. In this overall context, countries are increasingly getting concerned about ensuring food, health, and energy security. As a major food producer, this also means, for a country like India, it also means fertilizer security. Given the prevailing uncertainties, it is natural to pursue diversification in different domains. The triangulation of availability, costs, and risks have become the decision matrix. There will also be areas like critical minerals where stronger international collaboration is necessary to ensure required access. Now, that said, economic security is best served through stronger self-reliance and more trusted partners. This is particularly so in respect of large nations like India. In a globalized world, the two goals are actually sides of the same coin. Greater capabilities attract more partnerships, which in turn reinforce such resilience. As a market economy, political democracy, and as an open society, like-minded partners would see particular value in the success of India. We will not only contribute to global growth, but also to global stability, predictability, and trust. So how does India best do that? As an overall strategy, by steadily expanding its comprehensive national power in the coming decades. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has declared our national goal to be Viksit Bharat, that is developed India, by 2047, which is the centenary of our independence. Now, there are multiple dimensions of that journey, and these must not be perceived as choices. India has to do both manufacturing and services, industry and agriculture, core and advanced technology, hard and soft infrastructure, innovation and scaling up, evolution and leapfrogging, enabling environment and focused initiatives. In fact, when it comes to debates on economic strategy, all of the above is probably the right answer. Achieving that requires constant progress in the ease of doing business and ease of living, and pursuing inclusive and people-centric policies. It is no surprise that these are actually the government's key priorities. Infrastructure constraints, and Baba Kalyani spoke even about Maharashtra and Mumbai in this regard. Infrastructure constraints have long been the bane of the Indian economy. It is one that is specially emphasized by investors. In the last 12 years, there has been tremendous progress in bridging these gaps. Whether it is highways or railways, aviation or ports, energy or waterways, we have truly seen impressive achievements. These have certainly improved the landscape for ease of doing business and obviously will continue to do so. Soft infrastructure has been keeping pace, including in health, education and skilling. Digital public infrastructure has actually been the real game changer, facilitating better governance and effective socio-economic delivery. The basics of nutrition, health, housing, electricity, water, literacy and connectivity have become much more widely accessible. Educational institutions have actually doubled in this period, even as social indices have risen markedly. The cumulative impact of these autonomous happenings has made it much easier today to realize our true potential. Friends, we all clearly recognize that our lives are going to be more intensively saturated by technology. To ensure its interests and make its contribution, India is accelerating its industrialization. The focus on Make in India has been extended to cover research, design, innovate, and co-create in India. It is only by maintaining a broad industrial base that India can generate its own technologies. This is also a moment to leapfrog. We have the talent, we have the ambition, and we have the determination to embrace advanced technologies to that end. So whether it is playing catch-up or treading uncharted paths, a range of new initiatives are underway. These cover semiconductors to microelectronics, defense to space, drones to shipping, or renewables, and most of all, AI. That the recently presented budget shone the spotlight specially on biopharma, nuclear energy, and critical minerals is a sign of the times. A technology-driven world will naturally also be a talent-driven one. In the recent past, the flow of skills and talent across the world has been a powerful driver of economic growth. While irregular migration has created a backlash in some societies, these realities of demand and supply cannot be disregarded. However, they can and they do take new manifestations. The proliferation of global capability centers is noteworthy, and India's relevance to the international economy has actually found one more avenue. In fact, in a much broader way, our favorable demographics are encouraging a larger and more substantive Indian participation in the global workforce. An India with greater capabilities and with greater confidence is understandably negotiating mutually beneficial arrangements with more partners. This year alone, we have the FTA with the European Union and a trade deal with the United States. Last year, it was the United Kingdom, EFTA, New Zealand, and Oman. And before that, there was UAE, Australia, and Mauritius. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and his team have shown great perseverance and tremendous commitment in securing greater market access for Indian products and services abroad while protecting our sensitive sectors. Quite apart from its growth and employment benefits at home, it helps address the de-risking challenge by presenting Indian options as part of a global solution. Friends, the last decade has seen our nation choose a definitive direction, not once, but 3 times. People have preferred solutions over slogans, delivery over promises, efficiency over leakage, and good governance over mismanagement. New India is symbolized by 5G technology, moon landing, Vande Bharat trains, UPI cashless payments, and mass-scale vaccine production, to name just a few milestones. Equally important, this India has a people-centric approach that is expressed in its promotion of financial inclusion, in saturation of socio-economic benefits, and the manner in which we are approaching AI. It has been an empowering period that has left us optimistic about achieving the goal of Viksit Bharat. It has also created a foundation for India to emerge as a credible and reliable international partner in this age of uncertainty. I'm confident that this sentiment will only grow further in times to come, and I thank this conclave for promoting that in India. Thank you very much for your attention.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.